I'm John, aka Bellissimo, and I'm the product lead for personalization and events here on the League dev team. Let's not waste any time and get into some of the things that we have planned for 2021.
Más bien los aspectos nuevos.
With over 150 champions in League, there are a lot of mains to make skins for. So in 2020, we stepped up the number of skins that we ship each year in hopes that champion mains would no longer have to wait years
Esa
between
skin, Dios
skins.
mío.
But that doesn't mean our work is done. There are still some champions who haven't gotten a skin in a while.
Eso sí estuvo
So
bonito.
this year, you can expect something for Fiddlesticks, Tom Kench,
District, Tanques,
Corki,
Corki, Camille, Galio.
Galio,
Uy, Galio,
Lulu,
Lulu, Nautilo,
Nautilus,
Wukong. Qué bien.
Wukong,
Nunu, Sejuani,
Nunu,
Rumble,
Sejuani,
Yumi,
Rumble,
Twitch.
Yumi, and Twitch. If your favorite champion isn't on the list, don't worry. There are lots more to come as we plan to ship over 140 skins this year. This also includes some skins for our more popular champions, including Vayne,
Vayne,
Caitlyn,
Caitlyn,
and
Blitzcrank.
Blitzcrank.
Vienen bastantes skins entonces.
For any given thematic, there's only so many champions that really make sense in that world. With us making more and more skins every year, it means that we run into a problem that we call thematic exhaustion. This means that we've either run out of champions that work well in a thematic, or players show their lack of interest through purchase rate, play rate, and
Pocas
feedback.
palabras, le hemos exprimido tanto
All
el
of this
jugo
indicates that we should keep
a una
trying new
sola
things.
temática que se
We'll
les
still be
están
revisiting
agotando las
some of our
ideas.
most popular thematics this year, like Project and Battle Academia. But we also want to explore new worlds. In February, we'll be celebrating Lunar New Year with a brand new thematic.
Sería algo bueno, algo tipo
Set in
sombrío.
2057, the year of the ox. Lunar Beast is a world where futuristic cityscapes and ancient temples collide. High-fashion streetwear with a touch of traditional elegance is the style of this year's Lunar New Year celebration. Here's a first look at Fiora, Jarvan, and Alistar.
Uf, pero están
who are all
bellísimas.
part of this
Hay que
year's
medir
Lunar
que
Beast
están
squad.
bellísimas las skins.
If psychedelic retrofuturism in space is more your vibe, then good news. Our second major thematic of the year is Space Groove, an eccentric
Onda
take
espacial.
on a sci-fi universe full
What
of
the
far-out fun
fuck
and
con
gameplay.
esta skin, Dios mío.
The laws of physics and logic don't always apply here,
¿Qué es eso?
but some of our favorite champions just really dig
Lol.
that, man. We have lots of ideas for new thematics, and we'd love your help in prioritizing which ones you want
No
to see
sé
the
si son
most.
muy osados
So
o se
this
les
week,
agotaron
we're
las
holding
ideas.
a player choice vote between three thematics that we've been exploring: codenamed Monster Tamers, Crime City Nightmare, and Debonair 2.0. Monster Tamers is a world where
Wow,
champions
estas sí están
harness
bellas.
powerful creatures
Uf,
from
esa
across
skin
Runeterra
tiene que
to
ser de
challenge each
Yagna.
other in high-stakes matches. In Crime City Nightmare,
Buenísima,
focus on the
esa skin
crime
está
scene that is
buenísima.
Valorant
Ese es para el Helsing.
where a street war takes a dark and horrifying turn. As a mysterious
Wow, mira esta
figure
skin, mira esta
introduces
skin, mira
those
esta skin.
desperate for power
Para
to an
Twisted
ancient
Fate, eso es para Helsing.
Cthulhu-inspired evil. Finally,
Esa sí
we have
está
Debonair
buenísima.
2.0. In a world where powerful elixirs grant extraordinary abilities,
¿De quién es
two
este?
rival clubs vie for power. Classy opulence meets modern
Noble.
noir as champions work together to take back what they believe is theirs.
No.
We're going to ship whichever thematic gets the most votes this year, and we may revisit some of the others later, depending on your interest and feedback.
No, la de Twisted Fate está buenísima. Está buenísima.
We've been working to improve events on League, and this year, there are three main areas we want to focus on. For starters, we're going to keep running featured game modes alongside every major event. One of our biggest learnings last year was that players most actively played modes that amplify champion fantasies. For example, in Earth, we
viene
amplified
Urf.
fantasies by asking, what if my champion could cast all the time? Or in One for All, we ask, what if my champion got to stack with itself? We believe that there are other interesting ways to amplify champion fantasies, and we'll be exploring a new mode in 2021, as well as bringing back our existing roster of rotating game modes. The second area we'd like to focus on is the event pass system. 2020 was a crazy year, and while we were able to ship a lot of content, we weren't able to get to some of the event pass changes that we were hoping to. We think clarity and ease of experience
dígame.
can improve a lot,
Dice.
and we'll be sharing more details on
cámara
our
que
plans
estás
to revamp
usando
the
es la
system
Trust Vero.
in the first half
Sí,
of this year.
sí, esa es la que estoy usando.
Finally, one of the things that made Spirit Blossom
¿Por
stand
qué?
out from other events was that it was centered around the lore of Runeterra. We've gotten feedback that you want to see
Oh, esa
Runeterra
cinemática
stories
estuvo
move
bellísima, estuvo muy
forward,
buena.
the world evolve, and League's champions continue their journeys.
Esa
At the
historia
end
de
of
verdad es
Spirit
muy buena.
Blossom, Ari and Yasuo left Ionia on an adventure to Bilgewater. Their story will continue in The Ruined King, a League of Legends story. But things aren't going to end there. Viego's back, and we'll be following his path of destruction in League PC later this year. Where will the ruination spread next? Who can stand up to the Ruined King? And who will fall.
Uf,
Thanks so much for
uy.
watching. The only reason we get to do any of this
Tan
cool
pro
stuff
esa
is because
skin.
of your continued support. So on behalf of the League Dev team, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey folks, Brian Feeney here, the design director of Wild Rift.
Wild Rift,
It's
eso es lo
so
que
cool
quiero
to
saber
be
yo.
part of kicking off a new year of League, and we can't wait to show you what we've been working on. When developing Wild Rift, we aim to create an experience that is authentic to League, keeping things just the same when it makes sense.
Vamos.
As you've likely seen, we've also made some changes to champions, skins,
Ese juego
and the
cuando
map
llegue
to
acá
make sure things feel great for Wild
va a
Rift
romper
players. We
durísimo.
also know many of you are still waiting to play Wild Rift, and it's taking us a little longer than we planned to get it out to you all. So, here's an update on our open beta rollout plans for the next few months.
What?
We're aiming to start service in the Americas in March. We're currently working on
América.
ways to make sure you get access to a bunch of champions quickly when you join so you can start building up your competitive pool.
Uf, buenísimo.
We'll have more details soon, and we can't wait for you to start playing.
Champions.
Many of us fell in love with League when we found our first main. For me, it was Twisted Fate. I told myself it was for those sweet card throwing and picking out plays, but I think we all really knew it was about not needing to walk back to lane when you could globally teleport at level 1.
Sí.
When choosing which champs to bring to Wild Rift, we primarily focus on the ones who can expand on the gameplay and thematics that we're currently missing. Wild Rift has around 50 champs, and in
Lol,
2021,
50
we're
campeones.
really looking to broaden that pool. Our goal is to release an average of 2 champions every month. While not our main goal, we do feel this is a cool throwback to 2009 League PC. Anyways, let's check out some champions. Coming later this year will be one of our highest skill cap champs thus far,
Katarina.
She promises to pick the perfect time
Digo,
to strike with her
Carolina.
heavy daggers and
What?
Okay, alright, let me explain. When we're bringing champions over to Wild Rift, we want to keep their fantasies and playstyles intact. We only look to change abilities if they don't work on twin stick controls, or if there's a cool opportunity to really make them shine. In this case, it's both. We know from Katarina players that her fantasy comes from weaving her ult in and out of fights using Shunpo. But in our
What the
playtests,
fuck?
we
Te
saw that it
puedes
ended up
mover
being
mientras
super
ella
easy to
ultea.
cancel our
No me
ult
había fijado. Eso es
accidentally
aún
with the
más
joystick.
roto de lo normal.
So we tried letting Katarina slowly move and reposition while ulting, which ended up feeling
No,
really awesome
demasiado
on twin stick
roto.
controls.
Demasiado
It's
roto.
time to let it rip. Rolling in sometime after will be Rammus the Armadillo. We want to preserve Rammus's fantasy of gotta go fast, and saw an opportunity to wild drift. Rammus now passively rolls, gaining out of combat movement speed, and the twin stick controls give Rammus a new way to really zoom around the
Pero
map.
esta gente se volvió
Rammus's
loca.
new ultimate, Soaring Slam, enables him to leap into the air and create tremors where he lands.
Puede
The
saltar.
size of the tremors are based on his Powerball speed. With these changes, we're hoping Rammus can feel more than okay on Wild Rift.
Okay.
And finally, as for Dr. Mundo, his update will be coming to Wild Rift a bit later in the year, because right now we're focused on getting the game in as many hands as possible. So while Mundo will still go where he pleases, he'll just be taking his time getting there, as he pleases. We're going to be making some upgrades over the next few months to flesh out Wild Rift's gameplay. One of our big focuses will be our in-game item pool. You've seen the item overhaul that just hit in League PC, and while we plan to eventually adopt some of these changes, we aren't quite there yet. In the meantime, we're looking at the item options currently available in Wild Rift and working to fill in some of the gaps. You can expect us to continue expanding itemization options throughout the year. We're also looking into more ways to play, as one of the things players have been asking about is additional game modes. Today, I'm pleased to announce we're working on our version of all random, all mid,
Luego
or
van a
ARAM,
meterán
and you can help
en
us
Wild
test it
Rift.
out later this year. If you want a more competitive experience, great news. Our first official ranked season is
Nuestra
starting soon.
primera temporada
Beyond the
clasificatoria
usual
empieza
matchmaking and
pronto.
ranked improvements, we also
Y
want
va a
to do
haber
more to support competitive
competitivo.
play.
Ah,
So we're looking
bueno.
into a couple of things this year. One feature you can expect soon is the ping reply system, which should help you more easily coordinate with your team and acknowledge their calls. Finally, a lot of you have been asking for a way to have more choice over the position you play in-game. We're actively working on a solution for this, and we'll bring you updates on this soon.
Buenísimo.